Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. You're very welcome to the programme. And where we find ourselves today is actually in MAYNOOTH in County Kildare. And we're at the castle here in MAYNOOTH. It was actually a FITZGERALD and a Fitzmaurice family castle. That's the keep you're looking at there. And I will be able to take you inside the keep, not in this video, but in another one. So this is the gatehouse of the castle. Pretty impressive, as you can see. And just in the middle there, that's actually the united arms of the FITZGERALDS and also the Fitzmaurice families. And that's another part of the castle there as well. So I'm going to go in and show you around, and I'll give you a wee historical narrative as we go. So I hope you enjoy this. So MAYNOOTH Castle is a ruined castle in County Kildare, and I'll just let you see those coats of arms that I mentioned. And it was an Norman castle constructed in the early 13th century, and it became the primary residence of the Kildare family of the Fitzmaurice and FITZGERALD. So there's a wee inscription here I'm going to read out to you. It says, Geraldine Castle. This 13th century keep, which replaced the castle erected by Maurice FITZGERALD in 1176, was for many years the principal residence of the Kildare branch of the Geraldines, one of whom was Sultan Thomas FITZGERALD. He fortified it against the English in 1534, and the castle was captured and dismantled by the Confederate Army. That's the Catholic Confederate Army in 1647. So that's the keep that we were inside. I've done a wee video of us inside there, so you can have a look at that. And that's across the way there is St Mary's Church, and that tower there was actually part of the castle. It was their own private chapel, the FITZGERALDS, so it was part of the castle at one time. And behind the wall there is the university. So I'm going to do a wee video on the church. But the area covered by modern Kildare was granted by Richard de Clare, or better known as Strongbow, to Maurice FITZGERALD in 1176. Now, the castle was built by Maurice's son Gerald FITZGERALD in 1203. With the construction of what you're looking at now, the keep, which would be classed as if it was on its own, it would be classed as a tower house, but because it's in the middle of a castle, it's classed as a keep, the castle keep. So the castle was expanded by Sir John FITZGERALD in the 15th century, and then Gerald Fitzmaurice's descendants became the Earls of Kildare and Leinster. You can see part of the university there, some pot rakes. As you can see. How you doing? How are you? It's a great day, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So, the FITZGERALDS' occupation of the castle came to an end in 1534 with the rebellion of Thomas FITZGERALD, or better known as Silken Thomas, who had mentioned there on the board as we came in. Now, an English force led by William Skiffington bombarded the massive castle in March 1535 with heavy modern siege guns of the English army, and he battered it into submission, and the garrison was executed before the gate, actually, after the 10-day siege. So where I took you in, the garrison were actually executed there at the gatehouse, which is just in front of us, as you can see. Now, William Skiffington himself had actually accompanied King Henry VIII, along with other knights, in 1520 to the meeting with King Francis I of France at what became known as the Field of the Cloth of Gold. There's a bit of work going on there. Now, Silken Thomas was captured shortly after, and he was committed to the Tower of London with his 5 uncles. And they were executed at Tyburn for treason on the 3rd of February 1537. And of course, a lot of Roman Catholic priests were also killed under the reign of Elizabeth I in Tyburn because of the suspected Catholic plots, and also because they were practising the Mass. Now, the castle was restored here in 1630, between 1630 and 1635. By Richard Boyle, who was the first Earl of Cork. So he restored it after his daughter had married George FITZGERALD, the 16th Earl of Kildare. But much of this was destroyed during the Irish Confederate Wars of the 1640s, as we read on the board. But certainly he had restored it because his daughter married into the family. Only the gatehouse, on which I showed you the Boyles and the FITZGERALDS united arms. I said the Fitzmaurice, it's the FITZGERALDS and the Boyles. So only they survive, and also the solar tower survive. And that's about it. You can just see up through the wee entry there. It's actually picturesque, isn't it? See if I can zoom up there for you. That's beautiful, actually. It would make a good photograph. So so I must remember and take one and finish the video. Rounds aren't too big. You can see that's the perimeter wall, but still nice. So the FITZGERALDS left Maynooth Castle for good and made their family seat at Kildare Castle and then Carton House. And of course Carton House is a hotel today. You can stay in it. And I priced it to see how much it would be for a single room, because I was thinking maybe of taking a wee holiday. I'm staying for a couple of nights. £250 a night. I said to myself, well, I'm not got in the head. So it is very swanky. There's been a few famous people have stayed at Carton House Hotel, including Queen Victoria and even Peter Sellers. If you remember, Peter Sellers done the Pink Panther. It was a cartoon and then he acted it as a film, a detective. Pretty impressive, isn't it? And that's us sort of full circle, except for this building here, which is normally locked, but there's a tour in there at the minute, so I might actually get in. We'll see how that goes.
This is dating from the 1400s, but in the 1600s, this was modified to become part of the new manor house. So if you want to come, so this, yeah, there would have been ways in here. That's the like the actual street of this part. Yeah, there's one up there and one up there. Yeah. So to be honest, this part is the part we're a bit confused about. We don't know 100% if this part was covered or if there was a seat here. Maybe in the 1600s they would have put a seat here because they wouldn't have really used this defense anymore, and that would have been blocked up. But those, the one here and the one above that, 100% we know.
Did you say there was a murder hole here?
Yeah, just in there, yeah.
Oh, so that's the murder hole there, is it? Oh, very good.
Large windows, and the smaller windows you see inside, they were put in the 18th century just to make the place a little bit more romantic for the FITZGERALDS as they came to church over here, and they wanted us to
So I will do a wee video on the church. So this is where the garrison were put to death after the siege at the gates. So there you go, folks. So thanks for watching, and God bless.